Welcome YouTube, this is Villains and I'm going to be reviewing the Mortal Kombat movie. First I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for those who haven't seen it yet, but if you have seen it and you want to hear all the spoilers, then click the timestamp that I have listed on right here. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now I just want to say right off the bat, this is the best video game movie to date. And with the history of video game movies, that's not exactly a high bar to beat. But aside from a mid-tier plot, I would give it maybe a B rating, maybe a little less than that. The movie was done very, very well. It's Mortal Kombat done the way it should be after all these years. I mean, if you compare this to the original 95 movie, I understand a lot of people would say nostalgia would lead to favoring that movie over this one, but you cannot deny the production, the quality of this movie. It's just done so well, and I'm really, really impressed, and I really want to see more of this. But back to the plot though, it's okay. And if you're coming into this movie expecting a great plot with great characters and a great story, you don't really know Mortal Kombat. I mean, let's be honest. Even the video games had a horrible plot. The video games never make sense, and to be honest, that's part of the charm for Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's a video game where the highlight of it is really the character and the character design and the uniqueness of everybody, and especially the jokey nature and kind of the goofiness of Mortal Kombat. That's where Mortal Kombat really shines to me. So don't go into this movie expecting the greatest plot ever. Don't do that. That's just going to disappoint you. Don't go into this movie thinking your favorite character is going to be the greatest of all time and they're going to be just like you in the Mortal Kombat games. They're going to destroy everybody. That's not how this movie works. It has a loose connection to the Mortal Kombat story that we know as of this point, and it definitely showcases every character and the idea of every character very well. It basically summarizes everybody in a way that is digestible even to new incomers to the Mortal Kombat series. Fans like us, we've been around for so many years and we followed the lore over the 30 years that Mortal Kombat has existed, so it's like you can't really expect everybody to know right off the bat 30 years worth of history of Mortal Kombat. It just can't work that way. And I think this movie did a very good job in making the history of Mortal Kombat digestible to new incomers, and it executed that really well. Overall, if you've never heard of Mortal Kombat before and you want to check out this movie, you'll have a good time. Just take in mind the fact that Mortal Kombat is not really a story-based game, and it's not huge on its history, and it changes every single time. So just keep that in mind and just be ready for some gore, because that is what Mortal Kombat is really about. It's about the gore, it's about the characters, it's about the special moves, it's about all that. So go into this movie expecting that, and once you do get that, you'll be satisfied, trust me. But now let's get into the spoilers. I kept that nice and short because I have a lot to talk about on this movie. I am hype. I'm hype. You know, I had to take out my mic for this one. I had to take it off the stand because I'm about to go crazy on this movie. I'm about to go insane. And can I just say two things? Can I just say two words? Kung Lao. That is all. That is all you need. Oh my goodness. When I tell you guys the pop off that happened when Kung Lao did his entrance, I went insane. I went crazy, bro. It couldn't be better. I mean, we all saw it coming when we saw that Liu Kang was fighting Sub-Zero. We all know that he's gonna get help somehow, but yo, Kung Lao's entrance was so beautiful. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you. And that leads me to my point, the fan service. I know there's a lot of movies that do fan service, and I mean, Star Wars, we got a whole lot of cases of fan service gone wrong, and it just takes away from the entire movie. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen any of the reviews on Mortal Kombat up until this point. I haven't done anything. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen what anybody has to say about this movie because I didn't want it to influence my review. Pretty much, I want to give you guys my raw thoughts basically almost a whole day after watching it, because I had to sit and, you know, think about this movie and write some notes down and just get my overall thoughts out. And I didn't want anybody to influence that. But I really hope that nobody is upset about the amount of fan service that was in this film, because I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed every single bit of the fan service that was in this film. From Nightwolf and Kotal Khan on the historic drawings that Sonya had, even to Shang Tsung mentioning Reptile's real name, Sizov. Now, when he said that, I popped off, I'm not gonna lie, because you gotta do some homework, or you have to at least played MKX to know Reptile's real name. I was really impressed that was in the movie, so I popped off for that. That was nice. And then you go to the White Lotus Temple or their underground cave, whatever that was, and you got Shinnok's amulet just there, like, Bro, what? Like, are you kidding me? And then you had Kitana's fan in the back. Let me just, yo, that was insane. I absolutely loved it. I loved all the fan service in there. Mentioning Reptile again, you had his MK Deadly Alliance form, which I know a lot of people hate. I mean, I hate it too. It's probably the worst iteration of Reptile that ever existed. That thing looks stupid as hell, let's be honest, but it was cool to see it in there. Aside from all the fan servicey, jokey, you know, corny stuff, whatever, let's get into some actual plot details. So I hate the birthmark tattoo, whatever your destiny is to be in the tournament. That was the corniest thing ever. But they had to make up some way to get everybody together, and I'm not too mad at it. I just feel like it's really contrived, and I feel like that's been done a million times where it's like, oh, you're destined to be here, but blah, 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 you know, it's just corny. And that leads me to Arcana. Now, Arcana is, correct me if I'm wrong, I've been playing Mortal Kombat for nearly my entire life now, okay? Arcana was never a thing in the video games, but rather a thing that they made into this movie to explain why people have their powers. Now, I personally think it was a good idea to bring that in because it just establishes that basically anybody can get an Arcana. Anybody can get power. And so basically it'll lead to even more people down the line getting their Arcana, their power. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, but I can understand that people may find that pretty corny. I get it. It's not the best thing ever, but it's what we got to work with. And you know what? I'm cool with it. So now let's talk about our main guy, Cole Young. This guy is boring. This guy is just straight up a goofball. This dude is corny. He is boring as hell. He could put me to sleep. I do not want to watch a movie about Mortal Kombat with this guy as the main protagonist. You know what? It was good for what they had, but he just had that really bad kind of, I don't know if this is a thing, that main character syndrome where they're just along for the ride no matter what. They just don't even question it. They see it, but they don't really question it. They don't have too much to ask. They're just there. And they're just following along for the adventure, and they just get powers. And I don't know what you would call that. I guess it's a Gary Sue, but like, I don't like him. I don't like him. And I that would be my thing. That's kind of a big disappointment with this movie. I thought he was going to be more. I'm going to be honest, I was sitting there the entire time watching the movie and being like, yo, he's Scorpion. Bro, he is Scorpion. He's having the visions of him. He is basically Hanzo reincarnated as Scorpion. He has got to be Scorpion. And he was not. He was some random with basically a Black Panther suit, which absorbs power, absorbs hits, absorbs damage. I don't even know what you would call that, but it absorbs it, and he has these two little blades. I'm like, why do I care? I don't. So Cole was a bit of a disappointment, but he was basically us in that universe that we're just trying to get used to it all. We're along for the ride. We're not questioning it. We're playing along. We're doing the thing, and that was it. And it's the main character, I guess, right? Now, I'm not going to go exactly into what happened in every single scene. I'm probably going to just jump around all over the place. But let me just say right now, Bi-Han is an all-star in this movie. He's absolutely great. You can definitely see the groundwork that they're laying for him to become Noob Saibot. They did absolutely incredible with Bi-Han's character. He's much more of a big villain this time around, and we're so used to Sub-Zero just being, you know, the cool dude on the side, no pun intended. We're so used to that, but it was nice to see this threatening side of Bi-Han that we only really saw in the video games against Scorpion. That brings me to when in the last scene we got Cole and Hanzo fighting Bi-Han, and the whole time Scorpion is talking to Cole in Japanese, and Cole's face is just there like,
Scorpion is talking to Cole in Japanese, and Cole faces is there like.
It's like, yo, he doesn't know Japanese. I mean, I don't have a big problem with him not knowing Japanese and just standing there being like whatever, because it's kind of implied what Scorpion would be saying in that moment. Cole at that point knows that this is his great ancestor. We all know that Cole is probably having some kind of idea of what he's saying in his head, and he's just like, okay, I guess I get it. But it was just funny, like, even in the beginning scene where Hanzo and Bi-Han are fighting, it's like, I can't understand you, because Hanzo is speaking Japanese and Bi-Han is speaking Chinese, I believe. But that leads me into what this movie did with the characters in terms of giving everybody some kind of uniqueness. I really, really, really like that. That's not something you really see in the Mortal Kombat games, because in the Mortal Kombat games, everyone is just who they are, and you know, they don't really go into their nationality or whatever. They don't really do much of that, because that's not really what Mortal Kombat is about. But I really like that this movie did that, and I really love the actor for Raiden. He is such a good choice, man. Yo, Raiden was so good in this movie. He did a great job as Raiden. Liu Kang, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was such a good Liu Kang. Dude was like, he was doing the Bruce Lee, like, what the? He was going off. He was absolutely incredible out there. I really liked him. Yeah, Kano showing off. Yo, Kano was a highlight of this movie. I really didn't expect to like Kano that much. I knew from the trailers he would be his kind of goofball self, but they really made Kano a forefront kind of all-star in this movie, and I really like that choice. I heard something that they didn't want to put Johnny Cage into the movie because it was kind of like conflicting with Kano's character, and so you wouldn't want those two to basically go at it too much because it would take away from the movie a lot, and I kind of understand now seeing how Kano played out in the movie. Great choice on their part. But let's talk about that though. The Johnny Cage poster at the end. Yo, obviously you guys can't do this, but you guys could ask every single person who watched this movie with me. I called it from the beginning. I said Johnny Cage would have at least something in this movie. I know everybody was crying about it online. I didn't really take it as much of a big deal. Mortal Kombat doesn't have to be told with Johnny Cage. He is that dude. I love Johnny. But you can tell the story without him. It can be done, and it was obviously done in this movie. But when I tell you, I called it. I literally said Johnny Cage is going to show up in a poster somewhere in this movie. At some point, he's going to be on a billboard. He's going to be on a poster, and we're going to see Johnny Cage. We are going to see it, and that's exactly what we saw. That is exactly what happened, and I'm so happy that it did. And that brings me kind of to the next movie in a way. I know I'm jumping all over the place. I'm going to go back a little bit. Who are the characters that could be making an appearance in the next movie? Because Raiden did say he needs to assemble a new list of new fighters. And Shang Tsung also said that when he comes back, he will not bring fighters. He'll bring whatever. I don't know what he was saying, but he'll bring killers this time. I don't know. Let's talk about who could show up in this next movie. So we already seen Outworld. We know Earthrealm. But what about somewhere else? What about Edenia? What about bringing characters from those? Because we saw that Kitana's fans are in the White Lotus Temple kind of thingy. We got Sindel, who is her mother, Jade, her best friend, or whatever you want to call her, and then you have Rain, who is also from Edenia. So that's already 4 characters right there who could show up into the next movie. We already have Johnny Cage confirmed, and why not get another Earthrealmer? Why not get Stryker? Stryker is one of those guys that you could put into the movie and he could fight and he could die off and nobody would really care. So that guy could definitely be in the next movie, and that would be great. You would obviously have Kuai Liang into the next movie as the good Sub-Zero that we all know and love. He would be the next one with a scar in his eye. We all know him. And maybe because we have 2 of those Lin Kuei members, why not get a 3rd Lin Kuei member and get Smoke into the movie? Smoke is a friend of Kuai Liang, and we all know Noob and Smoke from Mortal Kombat Deception, so why not bring Smoke into the next movie? And so while we already have 3 of the Lin Kuei ninjas, why not add 2 more? Why not add Sector and Cyrax? They are also Lin Kuei ninjas. So you could have a ton of characters in this next movie. There is so much potential in this next movie, and it's looking really good, man. And I'm really excited for the future of this franchise. I did hear that there are more movies coming out, like aside from just the sequel, there might be a spin-off or 2. I really want to see that because these people really did their homework. They really did a great job on this movie. I love the scene of the spamming the low sweep. They are spamming that damn move like it's Mortal Kombat 2. And then you got Kano trying to short hop it like no, bro, that is not gonna work. You can only do that one time. And then Liu Kang kept hitting him with it. Absolutely great moment. I started dying at that point. Speaking about the characters that might be coming into the next film, let's talk about the characters that will not be coming into the next film. The people who died off. Yo, I know I popped off for Kung Lao. I was so sad when my guy died, bro. You know what? And the crazy thing is, I actually got spoiled. So you people on YouTube, stop uploading the damn movie before it comes out. I knew that was gonna happen a week ago. And that is not fair to me because I really, really wanted to see this movie without any spoiler. And a week before the movie comes out, I see that Kung Lao gets his soul sucked, pause, from Shang Tsung, and that was just messed up. But I understand that it needed to happen. I understand now we have Liu Kang, who is basically ready to go off. I'm not wearing this red for nothing. I'm not wearing this red for nothing. This is for Liu Kang, bro. Liu Kang is ready to go off in the next movie, and hopefully they focus more on him because he was such a good part of this movie. Definitely a highlight for me. I absolutely love when he killed Cabal. I think Cabal, out of all the henchmen, I would call him, he put up the best fight out of everybody. It was really, really satisfying to see Cabal on screen doing his run, using his hooks. You know, he gave Liu Kang a little bit of a fight. I love the voice for him. I don't know who did his voice or whatever like that, but absolutely incredible voice. Gotta give props for that. Everybody's favorite character, Melina. She went out like a punk, bro. She went out like a straight bum. And you know what? I watched that scene like, damn, this is gonna make a whole lot of people upset. But you know what? The good thing about her is she's a clone. You could always have Melina come back as a different Melina. It's really not gonna be that much of a difference. It would be pretty cool actually to see another Melina rise, and maybe she'll be a literal clone of whoever Kitana is going to be. Maybe there's some potential there. So for the Melina fans, don't get too upset. Remember, your girl is a clone, so she can always come back. She is Shang Tsung's baby, so she's going to come back at some point, maybe. I don't know about that, but I do know that Reiko was straight garbage. If you are a fan of Reiko, don't be upset. You know this was gonna happen to him. Let's be honest. We all knew that Reiko was just there to get obliterated. I don't know who is he. I don't know who is he. I don't know who he was gonna fight. I didn't know anything about what was gonna happen to Reiko other than he was gonna die in this movie. I mean, it's just, come on now. Let's be real here. And for the best fatality in the entire movie, there is no debate. I don't want to hear it. Kung Lao doing the razor hat, MK9 fatality, dragging Nitara's head right through it, and you see the joy on that man's face as the blood splatters onto his face. Bro, that was the best fatality in this entire movie. There is no debate about it. That was phenomenal. Nitara's another character who, if you expected her to do something in this movie, you're dumb. You're stupid. Think about it. Like, even in Mortal Kombat games, if anybody picks Nitara, you're gonna lose. She trash. Bro, she is trash. So don't be upset about that. We all know, even Nitara fans knew that she was gonna die immediately. So don't be too stressed about that. It was a great fatality. At least she went out in a cool way. Kano, I'm not gonna lie, that whole little garden gnome kind of thing, it was kind of corny. To see Sonya kill him so early on in the kind of Mortal Kombat franchise, I mean, I get it. This dude has been killed by Sonya like every single time that he dies in any game, in any movie. This dude has been killed by Sonya more times than I can count. So seeing him die this time, it was kind of like, I kind of expected that. And I didn't really care too much about the garden gnome jokes. She stabbed it right through his eye, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, I was fine with it. But I have to say, I really do have to say, maybe it's because he lost to Cole Young, but Goro, man, that was really disappointing. So go check out my reaction video that I made a month or two ago about the Mortal Kombat trailer. I popped off hard for Goro because I love Goro so much. He is such a cool character to me. But the fact that he got obliterated, he got sliced up by this dude, Cole Young, that was really disappointing, man. And you know what? Goro has become a punching bag over these last couple years. But the thing is like, this dude, we all know he's big and menacing, but he gets no respect. And you know what? It's fine. It's whatever. I get it. Goro doesn't really have any crazy significance in the Mortal Kombat story, but it's like, you could have had him not lose that fight like a straight bum. I don't know. I was really disappointed with that. I believe that's all the deaths in this movie. No, there's one more. Bihan. Now, he went out with the toasty. He went out with that. And you know what? It was a good way to introduce the fact that he's going to become basically all dark, all black new Saibot. He's going to be basically burned alive. And it'll make sense, I think, in the future. And it was a really good scene. Probably the best fight in this entire movie. I really enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed the fact that they changed up the Get Over Here. Honestly, I was fine with either one. I really liked this one. It had that impact. It had that, you know, the in the voice. So that's all that really mattered. I really like that scene. And for Scorpion fans who are complaining that he was underused, he was not in the movie enough, he didn't really. The thing is, his real gripe, his real deal is to fight Bihan. That's what he did in this movie. He had his arc. He had his revenge. He said, yo, remember this face. I hope he did, because he not around to see it no more. But Scorpion had his arc, and that was enough for me. Of course, I wish to see more of Scorpion, but he did his thing. He did what he needed to do. He got up out of there, and he has the lineage of the Hasashi family ongoing with Cole, so that's his thing, and I really enjoyed that. Oh, Jax. I didn't touch on Jax.
She kind of bad though. Is that Frost?
His Arcana being the arms, that was kind of, we saw that like a mile away. He was cool. I didn't really have too much of an issue with this character. I didn't really expect more out of his character. So we got what we got with Jax, and I was okay with that. And that is it for the review of this movie. Let me know down below if I missed anything. Like I said, I just have a notes section here that I wrote real quick and just went off of. I think I covered absolutely everything, but let me know. Let me know what was your favorite part of this movie. My favorite character and part is Kung Lao. Actually a tie between Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Please, 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 please. I don't care who needs to get in trouble. Make a Shaolin Monks movie. Please, for the love of God. If we can't have Shaolin Monks 2, the video game, at the very least, give us a Shaolin Monks movie, please, because the world needs it. Everybody wants it. I mean, everybody wants it. Let's be honest. Every single person that knows anything about Mortal Kombat wants this movie to happen. Everybody wants that second game to happen. Please just bring the Shaolin Monks back to their former glory, and everything in the world peace would be achieved once we get Shaolin Monks 2 and a Shaolin Monks movie. Make that movie happen. But with all that being said, I think I covered everything. Like I said, down in the comments, let me know if I missed anything. What was your favorite part of this movie? What was your favorite character in this movie? And what are you looking for in the next movie? This is going to be a good next couple years. I think we have a really solid franchise base right here with this movie, and I think it's going to generate a whole new audience for Mortal Kombat. And you know what? That's kind of the best thing that could happen, and I really hope it does. I think it will. Let me know what you think. And in terms of a rating for this movie, I will end this video off by giving the movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's a mid-tier plot with great characters, great fan service, and great gore, especially incredible gore. These guys went all out with the blood splatter and all the bones shatter and all that. They did a great job. Really satisfied with it. Let me know what you rated down in the comments. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your stay. And farewell.